This is the Tandem Tasters, Maralyn Hill with Brenda Hill, and we're at the Granite Inn in Rockland, Maine with...
I'd like to introduce Ed Hance. He is one of the innkeepers here at the Granite Inn. His wife Joan is also an innkeeper here, and she's not available right now, but you will see some of her artwork on the walls in this video.
And what are you going to prepare for us today?
I'm going to make our ginger scones that have become somewhat of our signature dish.
That sounds delicious.
You can make this without a food processor, but it's a lot easier if you have one. The first thing I do is put the zest of one orange and a quarter of a cup of crystallized ginger, and there's already a half a cup of just regular white flour in here to keep them from sticking together.
What, the flour keeps the ginger and the...
It keeps the ginger and the zest, the orange zest, from... I wanted it pulverized as finely as possible, and this will just keep it from sticking together. The next thing to do is to add the rest of the dry ingredients, and that would be a full cup of white flour, half a cup of whole wheat flour, half a cup of confectioner's sugar, a tablespoon of baking powder, and half a teaspoon of salt.
And do you use kosher salt or
I
regular?
usually do use kosher.
Did you make this recipe up yourself?
I adapted it from one that the previous innkeeper.
Yeah, I know Brenda and I adapt a lot.
I think that's everything that goes in there. All right. Then you want 1 stick of cold butter, and this is this butter is rapidly heating up.
Is that unsweetened butter or just regular butter?
It's unsalted butter. Yep.
That's what I meant. Thank you.
Because you have to let this run until all the big chunks of butter are reduced.
Mm-hmm.
If you make a pie crust in the Cuisinart, it's similar.
I know food processors make things so much easier.
Can't live without it.
So Ed, are you a self-taught chef?
Yes. I did a brief stint. I've done a brief stint as a pastry chef, as an assistant pastry chef, but no formal schooling. Then you need the wet ingredients, and that would be 1 egg, and half a cup of, if you've got heavy cream, that's the best, but half and half is what I usually use, because that's what we have around all the time. And 2 teaspoons of vanilla. This may look unfamiliar. I buy vanilla in bulk at the co-op down here. And now we get to the fun part. This forms a fairly dry batter. It's been so damp here recently that I've noticed we don't store the flour in a an airtight container, and I think the flour has absorbed a lot of the humidity from the
moisture.
air. Yeah, because this is not usually this sticky.
Ed, when you have guests at the inn, do you make these the night before, or do you get up very early in the morning?
No, I
and
make
prepare
them. I make them the morning that we serve them. They're always fresh baked
And warm. That's
scones
wonderful.
or muffins every morning.
There's a difference. There's a difference, and I can taste the difference when people say, "Oh, well, it's the night before; they're just as good." And I said, "No, they're not. It's
No.
not the same. Scones have especially scones, have a really."
Zach is the family dog, and he and I get up at 5 o'clock every morning.
Yeah, they just taste different when it's fresh out of the oven.
There's always something stuck in the bottom here.
You use some whole wheat flour, but not all. So I
No,
imagine you've experimented.
3 to 1. Just regular white flour. You could play around with those proportions if you wanted to. And I think you can use regular sugar as well as confectioner sugar too.
Do you also have a signature muffin
Um,
or a favorite?
I have 2 that are my favorite. We do a maple walnut muffin that I like a lot, and we do a morning glory muffin
Oh, I love those.
that I like a lot too.
I like morning glory muffins.
Well, when I eat them, I always feel like I'm eating something very healthy.
I know, I do too.
So I can have 2.
Oh, I can't eat too.
Well, they're carrots and apples in ours, so
Yeah.
it's good for you.
See, that's what I tell myself. Thank you.
Then you want to roll this out to about, this is a little too far, just to about a 10-inch disc. Depending on the size, you can cut this any way you want. I usually cut it into 1/8 and put it on a non-stick baking sheet, or this has parchment paper on it. I forgot to say that your oven should be at 400 degrees. And I have to figure out what I do. Then arrange them like you're reassembling your pie here.
Now you put about 1/4 of a cup of
For a wash, I
cream.
have a little extra cream and a little extra vanilla. This makes a really nice crusty top to them.
That's unusual. I haven't seen that. I've seen egg washes, but I haven't seen the cream and vanilla.
I
That
put
looks
it. We do
very
a
nice.
cheddar cheese scone here, savory scone that I put an egg wash on. It's just something to hold the what's coming next. Now here you've got to be careful that you pick up the box of sugar and not this kosher salt.
Or disaster.
I have to read the label very carefully every morning because I'm
This is an
absolutely
early
petrified.
activity.
I'm going to serve these with a coating of salt on top.
Oh, it's the latest trend. Didn't you know that?
And we're done. Put them in the oven, and in about 16 to 18 minutes, you'll have something that looks like that.
And that looks pretty nice.
Well, I can't wait 18 minutes, but thank you so much.
Well, you're very welcome.